Good morning, Neeraj sir.
Sir, good morning.
Okay, so we'll start after some time, or
Yes, yes,
we
yes.
can wait
Sure,
few
sure.
minutes.
Sure, sir. You take your time and let's see.
Okay, so we'll start by 11:35 anyway.
Okay, okay. How many participants they are in
Actually,
join?
we have participant in both platform. That means online and offline. So
Okay,
in online mode, we have around 50 participants,
right.
45 to 50, and
Okay,
in offline mode, we have around 40 to 45 participants.
okay, sir. Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, sir. Computer com- Sir, shall we start?
Yes, sir, we can start.
Yeah. Okay. So I request all the participants to who has not joined us yet to join us immediately. So we are starting the session.
Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all to the fourth day of the Emerging Tools and Technologies in Research Workshop 2024. I take this honor to introduce the speaker of this session, Dr. Neeraj Kumar Singh. Dr. Neeraj Kumar Singh has joined Panjab University in 2009 and is presently working as a deputy librarian in the A.C. Joshi Library from 2018. He has obtained MSc in chemistry from Rani Durgavati University, Jabalpur, and Master of Library and Information Science from Delhi University. He did PhD from Panjab University, Chandigarh in 2014. He received international awards like Shivnath Rai Kohli Mid-Career Best Scientist Award, University Librarian of the Year Award, Commonwealth Professional Fellowship, A.C. Joshi Library Uttam Seva Puraskar, to name a few. Apart from publications in journals and conferences of repute, he has also authored a book and edited 8 books. One patent is also granted in his name entitled A System and Method for Predicting Badminton Match Outcome. He is an expert speaker in his domain, which includes more than 350 invited talk online and offline as invited speaker, pure resource person in many FGP orientation courses, refresher courses, seminars, workshops, etc., organized by many universities, IITs, IISERs, NITs, NITTRs, private universities, colleges, etc., all over India. Dr. Singh is an active member of Urkund anti-plagiarism software from 2019, RFID system for Central Library at IIT Ropar, High Court Library at Chandigarh, and many more. He has visited and experienced some of the best libraries in and around UK, Oxford, Cambridge, UCL, LSE, etc., and also visited University of California Library, USA, to see best practices implemented in various libraries. We are fortunate to have Dr. Singh with us to deliver his expertise to the participants. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your nice introduction and very good morning to all of you. Before I will start my session, I would like to thank Dr. Jayanta Pal for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to take one session in this 1 week program. So today I'm going to discuss about a very serious issue in research that is called FFP, that is fabrication, falsification and plagiarism. And in this session I will also discuss about how we can avoid plagiarism in terms of using various reference management software. So I would like to give you a live demonstration of EndNote, Mendeley, and Zotero. And all these three softwares, they are heavily used by researcher in terms of managing references. But before going to start my PowerPoint presentation, there are certain things which I would like to discuss with you before taking you to the PowerPoint presentation. That we we all are into the research, and we know that why we are conducting research. So one of the major objective behind doing research is research needs to be disseminated. That is why researchers all over the world, they are publishing their research paper in various reputed journals. And why we need research paper? Because research paper is basically considered as an academic piece of writing that includes analysis, interpretation, argument, and in-depth research. And why there is a need to publish research paper? Because, as I said, research needs to be disseminated. So basically, these journals, they are providing us a platform through which we can disseminate our research finding to the academic community. So that is why publishing research paper in journals is not a new phenomena. It got started in the 18th century, where the scientists and the academicians, they started publishing their research paper in various journals. So one thing is very, very sure that in academics, we have to publish research paper because there is a one phase in academics that is called publish or perish. Continuously, we have to publish research paper if we would like to survive in this academic world, because we need research paper for our promotion, we need research paper for our selection. Wherever you are applying for any funding agencies, for taking grants, there also profile of principal investigators is very, very important apart from your research proposal. So what I'm trying to say is there is a pressure on the academicians that we have to publish research paper continuously. And wherever there is a pressure, there is always a chance that knowingly or unknowingly we involve ourselves in the act of FFP. So what is this FFP? I will also try to explain you about various examples through various examples so that it will be easy for you to distinguish between fabrication, falsification, and plagiarism. And we will also try to understand and see how these reference management software they are going to help you in terms of managing references, because there are various studies conducted by various academicians and research institutions where they have reported that one of the major reason behind the plagiarism is researcher they don't know how to cite right, because whenever we have to give in-text citation or references, we have to follow certain guidelines or certain citation styles like APA, Chicago, Harvard, IEEE. There are more than 1,000 citation styles are available, and every citation styles they are having set of protocols, set of rule in terms of giving bibliographical information of all such documents which we have referred while writing our research paper or while conducting our research. So it is very, very important for you to arrange all these bibliographical details, or you have to give in text citation according to these citation style. Sometimes, when we start research, sometimes we ignore the meaning of comma, semicolon, full stop, italics. These all are very, very important, because if you are not following these syntax, if you are not following these set of protocols, it is also considered as one of the type of plagiarism. So we will also try to understand about what are the citation styles, what are different types of citation style, what is the difference between in-text citation style and references. So all these things I am going to cover in my lecture. So let me share my screen so that I can start the PowerPoint presentation. If you can please confirm whether it is coming on full screen or not, so that
Yes, sir.
Visible, sir.
visible. Okay. So the topic is publication misconduct and managing references through reference management software, right? So as I said, why publishing research is important is very, very important, because research needs to be disseminated. And research paper is a piece of academic writing that provides analysis, interpretation, and argument based on in-depth research. So publishing research makes scientific community aware about the latest thing in that particular area. And these publications, they are considered as a intellectual asset that gives researcher acknowledgement and recognition as a expert at the national and international level. So these two are considered as a pioneer journal which got published in the year 1665. So this is the first edition of Journal of Thus Scavans, and this is the first edition of English Philosophical Transaction Society of Royal Society. And this is the first article which you can see that it got published in the year 1665. So since then, there is a huge number of increase as far as research journals are considered. And as per Ulrich International Periodical Directory, there are more than 5 lakh peer-reviewed journals have been published by various organizations, societies, publishers across the world. Right now, there's one study which is conducted by US National Scientific Foundation, where they have ranked top 10 countries in terms of number of research paper. So you can see from this slide that China is leading from the front, and China is sharing 20.67% of global share as far as research paper publications are concerned. United States at the second position, and India is at the third position, where Indian researchers they have published more than 1,35,000 research paper. Right. So there are many important highlights of this particular study. One of the major highlight is, which is also published by Nature Index 2024, that out of total top 10 countries, seven institutions are from China. So you can see that China is leading from the front, not only in terms of publishing research paper, but when you rank, and this is the ranking which is done by the Nature, top 10 institutions across the world. Out of top 10, seven are from Chinese. So the Chinese researchers, they are doing very good in terms of publishing research paper and in terms of enhancing the ranking of their topmost institutions, right? There is another database which I think we all are familiar about this, that is called Scopus, and there is a one open access database which fetches all the data from Scopus, and the portal name is or website name is SciMago Journal and Country Rank. So as per this website, US is leading from the front and China is having at the second position and India is at the sixth position. So you can see the total number of documents published by the researcher from this country, total number of citations, total number of self-citations, and total number of H index. So US is having H index of 3000, China is having H index of 1300, more than 1300, whereas India is having H index of only 858. So if you see, H index of India is very, very low as compared to other countries. And H index is basically a reflection of quality of any research paper, right? So I think you must be familiar about the citations, H index, self-citations, and about the Scopus database. So I'm not going to discuss in details about these metrics, but H index is one of the parameter to measure the impact of research published by the researcher. So Indian researcher, they are doing good in terms of increasing the number of research paper, but the quality of Indian research is very, very low. So as I said, that we are in the era which is called as publish or perish. Means it is basically a race amongst the scientists to get more and more publications to one credit. And these are the reasons, these are the benefits of publishing research paper. Like we need research paper for our selection, promotion, institutional grant and funding, rewards, recruitment criteria, scientific ranking, right? So these all are the reasons why researchers they are publishing research paper. And one of the important reason why there is a need to publish research paper is your institutional ranking. If you read the methodology of QS ranking, Times Higher Education ranking, NIRF ranking, more than 50% weightage they are giving for the institute publications and citations. So that is why now universities they are promoting the research culture within their university. And if you read the vision and mission statement of any university, you will find one vision which is very, very sure is that our university is focusing on enhancing quality research and how we can achieve this objective while publishing good number of research paper in the quality journals. Now, there's a new matrix evolved during the last couple of years that is called Stanford list of top 2% scientists of the world. So I think Stanford University first they published this study in 2019, and every year they are updating their database from where you can pick the top faculty member or scientist of your institutions who got featured in the list of top 2% scientists of the world. This year also, 46 faculty members from Panjab University, they got featured in the top 2% scientist ranking, which is conducted by the Stanford University, right? And as per the news published in India today, this year record more than 5,000 Indian scientists included in the 2024 list of top 2% scientists of the world. And There's one academician, Sandeep Salvi, rises to 35th globally in respiratory sciences. ISC Bangalore and Punjab University, they are leading from the front where academicians of both these universities or institutions, they have featured highest academicians from India who got included in the list of top 2% scientists of the world. And I'm sure that Tripura University, faculty member of Tripura University, they also got featured in the list of top 2% scientists in the world. Right. So the first study they have published in the PLOS Biology Journal in 2019, and at that time, 11 faculty member from Punjab University, they got featured in the list of top 2% scientists. But what happened that every year, because they are publishing this study, so there is a questions amongst the senior scientists who are not featured in the list of top 2% scientists, because they also want to know that some of the faculty member who are very junior to them and they are having less number of research paper and citations, their list is their name is included in the list, but some senior professors they are not in this list. So same thing happened in Punjab University, where some senior professors they met vice chancellor and they asked the authority to submit a report or to give clarification what are the reasons, like some of the senior faculty members they are not in this list, and some faculty members who just started their research they have featured in the list of top 2% scientists. So this thing has been forwarded by the vice chancellor to director research, and director research has given this responsibility to me to investigate into this matter and submit my comments about the queries or about the clarifications which some of the faculty members they want from the university, right? So this is the statistical formula through which they are calculating, the Stanford team they are calculating the top 2% scientists of the world. And when you extract the data from Scopus, keeping in view these parameters, and when you put these number into this formula, then this formula will calculate the composite score, and this composite score is going to be a key matrix for deciding whether you are in the top 2% list or not, right? So these are the parameters. So I read all these three papers and extracted the data and applied this matrix, and I've also written, and this is the complete study which they have uploaded. All the data you can also download. The same data is available on Mendeley repository, and you can see that the first version, the first study, the Stanford team of scientists they have conducted in 2019, and this year they have released the seventh version, and they have uploaded on 16th September 2024. And since then, you can see the usage that it is having more than 32 lakhs download, which is very good number, and the number is increasing day by day. So this indicates the popularity or visibility of this study amongst the scientists. So this is the email which I have written to, to the main author of this particular study, Professor John. He is from Stanford University, and I have asked few questions that I have also calculated the data of some of the senior faculty member of Punjab University, right? And as per your formula, their name also be there in the list of top 2% scientists of the world. So when I communicated this thing, then they have replied, yes, yes, yes. So there are some mistakes in our data. So they have updated the data. So earlier, when we published this thing that 11 PU scientists are among the top 2% ranking, then another news got published that no, it was not 11 faculty member, it was total 27 scientists from Punjab University who can make into the elite list of top 2% scientists of the world. So what I'm trying to say is that in academics, it is all about publishing research paper. And it is not only about publishing research paper, but at the same time, it is also about measuring the impact of your research. And your research has been measured through three key indicators, that is called author matrix, article matrix, and journal matrix. Means where you have published your research paper, how many peoples how many other researcher, they are citing your research paper, and then what is the author matrix, what is your H index, Citation index, G index, HM index. So overall or collectively, it reflects the quality or impact of your research to the academic world. So now it has become the phenomena that continuously we have to publish good number of research paper. So it is basically a pressure on you. And wherever there is a pressure, there is always a chance that knowingly or unknowingly we will involve ourselves in the act of doing research misconduct, which is known as a fabrication, falsification, and plagiarism. So any idea from your side about these aspects of research? Anyone, if you can unmute and just say a few words about fabrication, falsification, or plagiarism. It is just to understand how much you know about these concepts. Yeah, if anyone from you, if you can unmute and say a few words. Okay, okay. Let me explain to you. Now, fabrication, I hope I am audible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, fabrication, falsification, plagiarism. So, in academics, generally we talk a lot about plagiarism, but there are two other issues which are very, very serious, that is called fabrication or falsification. So, fabrication is reporting observations that were never made. Falsification is manipulating research materials, equipment, process, or changing or omitting data of result such that the research is not accurately represented in the research record. And plagiarism we will discuss in further slide in details. So fabrication is reporting something which were never made or which has not happened, and falsification is playing with the data or manipulating the data. There's no software at present time which can detect the fabrication or falsification. There are softwares available like Turnitin, Drillbit, or Urkund, which can help you in terms of checking the similarity that we call as plagiarism of your research work, but no software can tell that whether you have done the act of fabrication or falsification, right? So what is fabrication? Making up data or result and recording or reporting them. For examples, completing a questionnaire for a fictitious subject that was never interviewed, creating a data set for the experiment that was never actually conducted, adding fictitious data to a real data set collected during an actual experiment for the purpose of providing additional statistical validity, insertion of clinical note into the research record to indicate compliance with the element of the protocol. And what is falsification? Falsification is manipulating research material, equipment, and process, or changing or omitting, suppressing data or result without scientific or statistical justification. Like alteration of data to render a modification of the variance in the data, falsifying dates and experiment procedure in the study notebook, misrepresenting results from statistical analysis, addition of false and misleading statements. So all these are basically examples of fabrication or falsification, right? Like for example, suppose in your research you have mentioned that in this study I'm going to collect the data from 500 respondents from different academic institutions, and these institutions, they are situated in UP, Bihar, Jammu, Kashmir, like for example, and you have identified 500 sample size, and there are suppose 15 institutions that you have to visit. So suppose you have collected the 90% data or majority of your data related to your research from the institutions which are situated in UP and let's say for Bihar, and there are few institutions which are in the Kashmir region. So suppose that there is some disturbance in that particular region when you have planned to visit Kashmir or Jammu. So generally what researchers they do, based on the data collected from UP and Bihar states, they do some, you know, falsification in the data which they are going to report for the respondent, which who are belongs to Kashmir region. So without going to the Kashmir, now you are presenting data that you have collected the responses from the academicians who are working in different institutions in Kashmir, and you have never visited that particular region. So such type of act is basically considered as a falsification because you are manipulating the data. You are doing some sort of fabrication. There's another example. Suppose you have reported something and that experiment you have never conducted. So that is also considered as a, you know, this fabrication of data, specifically in sciences or medical sciences, you know, sometime without collecting the actual sample size or without conducting the actual research, we try to play with the data and we try to report false observation. And you will find many newspaper article where the scientists and doctors, they found guilty of doing the act of fabrication or falsification. So what I'm trying to say is whenever we are doing research, whether it is writing research paper or doing PhD thesis, one must be very honest with your data. Otherwise, if you will be involved or you will be found guilty in terms of doing fabrication and falsification, then your paper will be retracted. And retraction of paper is considered as a very, very serious offense in academics. Any idea what is the retraction of research paper? Anyone from you? What is the retraction of your research paper? And what are the reasons for retraction of your research paper? Okay. Retraction of research paper is considered as a very, very serious offense, and how you can come to know that your paper or your institution got retraction of research paper, right? That is called retraction watch. It's called retraction watch database, right? You can search by author, you can search by paper title, you can search by institution, you can search by publisher, and you will find that how many papers, like for example, you can type any author's name, like for example, let me try Delhi University. You know, this is the list of research papers and name of the authors, right? You can see the reasons also why they have retracted the research paper. You can see here. So here you will find all sort of things, you know, name of the authors, article type, country, name of the title, everything you will find. And so here you will find all sort of details, and they will also cite the reason why they have retracted the research paper from the journal. So this is the database through which you can come to know that your paper got retracted from the journal. right? So this is how you will check the name of authors, titles, the reason why the journal has retracted the paper. So everything will be available here. And most of the reason for retraction of research paper is either fabrication, falsification, or plagiarism, right? So coming back to the slide, okay. So now, how to detect fabricated data? That is also possible. An examiner or evaluator of the research is aware that a particular lab does not have the capability to conduct a particular form of research. As a researcher, we know what type of facilities are available at Punjab University, or what are the facilities available at PGI Chandigarh. Suppose some researcher has published one research where they are mentioning that they have conducted the research at Punjab University Department of Biotechnology, and as a faculty member or as a student, we know that that facility is not available in our university. So this is also one way to detect the fabricated data. Or data from the controlled experiment may be presented as too perfect, leading to suspicious of fabricated data. Sometimes while reading or while going through with the data, you will come to know that how it is possible that for this particular observation, this study is presenting 100% perfect data. Sometimes when you sense the data, that is also a way through which you can check whether that research is fabricated or not. But as I said earlier, there is no software at present. So you have to do it manually. It is totally based upon your knowledge and experience. And in that case, you can identify whether that data is fabricated or falsificated or not. So in research, publication ethics is very, very important. And there are certain ethics which we have to follow as a researcher, like data integrity, authorship concern, plagiarism, duplicate submission of publications, reuse of third-party content, competing interest, submission from paper mills, use of AI in research. This is also very important. Now the new researcher, what they are doing, they are using Chat GPT in terms of writing their research paper. So if you will use any AI tool, all these Turnitin and other commercial anti-plagiarism software, they can detect easily that this content or this paper is produced by these AI tools. So there's some algorithm they have developed where it is very, very easy for them to check the AI part of your research paper, right? Duplication submission of publications. Sometimes researcher, what they do, just to save their time, they are submitting the same paper to two different journals. And if you will receive the acceptance from both the journals, in that case, it is going to be a very, very difficult for you, because at that particular time, no journal is ready to withdraw your paper. So that is why, as per publication ethics, if any journal is taking too much time of publishing your research paper, in that case, you can simply write an email to the journal editor that because of delay in publication of my research paper, I want to withdraw my paper. And once you will get the acceptance or once you will get the reply, then only you can submit your paper to some other journal. So reuse of third party content, submission from paper mills, there are many websites are available from where you can get the ready-made research paper or ready-made book while paying few thousands rupees. So if we will use such type of research paper, and if you will claim your research, that is also a serious problem, because all these paper mills or the company, they are not taking care about the fabrication, falsification, or plagiarism, right? So these are called publication ethics, which we have to follow. And if you want to see, which are the journals which we can say that the quality journals are, if any journals, they are following the COPE guidelines for publication ethics. This is a surety that they are following the publication ethics guidelines, and this is also a reflection of not compromising the quality of any research paper. So majority of top publishers journals, they are following the COPE guidelines for publication ethics. Then the research integrity. As per research integrity, your data should be honest, rigorous, respect, and accurate. So as a researcher, we have to follow all sort of practice, right? That where we are collecting the data with full honesty, with full transparency, with full accountability, and with rigorous scientific process. This is called the research integrity. That is why some of the journals, they have started the practice that until unless your paper is not supported with your research data, they are not going to publish your research paper. So if you are writing something on your research paper, it should be verified with your research data. And if you are uploading the research data along with your research paper, this is the best example of following the research integrity, right? Now, talking about the plagiarism, and UGC and various publishers, they are very, very serious about this particular issue that is called plagiarism. And there are different types of plagiarism. So, what is the meaning of plagiarism? Plagiarism means the practice of taking someone else's work or idea and passing them as one's own without crediting the source. Right? So, like for example, I'm writing research paper. I have read 13 or 14 research paper which are published by other researcher. So I borrowed the idea, I borrowed the text, and then I have written one research paper where I am not giving credit where credit is due and presenting that this is my original work. That is called plagiarism, right? So it is not only about borrowing the text, it is not only about borrowing a figure, a picture, or any data. It is also about if you are taking the idea, in that case also you have to give credit to the paper from where the idea was generated, right? And what are the different types of plagiarism? There are different types like global plagiarism, paraphrasing plagiarism, verbatim plagiarism, mosaic plagiarism, self plagiarism, incorrect citation, replication, unethical collaboration, misleading attribution. Any idea about any type of plagiarism? Any idea if you want to share something on this aspect, plagiarism? Or what is paraphrasing plagiarism? Or what do you understand by the global plagiarism or self plagiarism? Because UGC is very, very serious about self plagiarism. And why the self plagiarism is very, very important in research? Any idea if you can give? So should be some interactive session. Okay. Okay. Now, what is global plagiarism? Presenting an entire text by someone else as your own work. You know, there was a case some 15 or 20 years before that the same PhD has been awarded by the two different university because at that time there was no provision of anti-plagiarism software. There is no repository like Shodhganga where you can see that what type of research has been submitted to different universities. So at that time, what generally the researcher they are doing, suppose they got the soft copy of one thesis which is submitted in Panjab University. So they are making little bit changes in the title and they are putting their own name and rest of the content are same. Because professor of South, any university from South, they have no idea that the same content has been submitted in some other university in the North. So such type of example comes under the category of global plagiarism. Now with the software and with the Sodh Ganga, now it is not possible for anyone to do the global plagiarism because it, has, it will be easily detected through Sodh Ganga and anti-plagiarism software. Now, paraphrasing plagiarism. Paraphrasing is a very, very important aspect of research because this is my personal opinion that no faculty member or no researcher can write the 200-page PhD thesis completely in his or her own words or sometimes it is very, very difficult for you to write a 5 or 6 page research paper, and it is completely yours. You have not referred any other sources. So that is why it is a compulsion on us that we have to do the paraphrasing. And what is paraphrasing? Yes, any idea what is paraphrasing? Just a second. Paraphrasing is writing something in your own words. And there is no harm if you are doing paraphrasing. Like, for example, whenever we are writing the introduction part or literature review part of our PhD thesis or our research paper, generally we have to do the paraphrasing. And what is paraphrasing? Like, I have read one research paper and then I'm writing the literature review. So mostly what I have to do is I have to write the same thing in my own words. But it will be considered as a plagiarism if I am not giving in-text citation. That is very, very important. So that is why it is called paraphrasing plagiarism. Then different levels are there, like verbatim plagiarism, mosaic plagiarism, right? And like mosaic plagiarism is like, I have written one research paper which is consisting of 5 pages, where I have taken ideas, text, images, data from multiple sources, and I have given all the credit. So if you see, as per the technical definition of plagiarism, you have to give credit where credit is due. So it is not like that in my research paper I have given full credit, I have copied the limited portion of others' work, but it will be considered as a plagiarism because I have failed to put my own voice. It is not like that in your research paper you have to follow each and everything which is published by other researcher. If you have failed to put your own voice, if you are not giving any data which you have collected, generated, or analyzed, if you are not adding your own experience or knowledge in the research paper, that research paper is having no value and it is considered as a mosaic plagiarism. Then self-plagiarism. Self-plagiarism is again very, very serious. That is why, UGC, they have issued a notification which UGC has sent to all the vice chancellor that before awarding the PhD degree or before giving the promotion to any faculty member, the university has to check the case of self-plagiarism. And what is self-plagiarism? Self-plagiarism is taking something from your previously published work and not giving credit. Sometimes there is a perception among the researcher that I have written the introduction entirely in my own words. So I can use the same introduction in my n number of paper. This is my methodology. I can repeat the same methodology in my 4 or 5 research paper. This is my data. Now nobody can stop me in terms of using my data in my n number of publication. So sometimes, this is the perception amongst the research scholar. But as per the plagiarism or as per the research ethics, if you have published something in any journal and if you want to use the same content, you have to take the permission. You have to follow the research ethics guidelines. If you are following these things, then there is no case of self-plagiarism. Otherwise, it will be considered as a self-plagiarism. Incorrect citation. As I said at the beginning of my lecture, that one of the main reasons behind plagiarism is we don't know how to cite right. So in this case, reference management software, they are going to very, very helpful for you in terms of arranging all the citations. Then the replication, misleading attributions, unethical collaborations. These are some other types of plagiarism. But out of this 10 types, 2 types are considered as a very, very serious offense in academics, that is called paraphrasing plagiarism and self-plagiarism. Now, what is citation? Because citation is very, very important, and it is basically a way of giving credit for someone else's thought, idea, writing, research. When you borrow thought content from someone else's work, that is direct quote, data, studies, theory, fact, or paraphrasing or summarizing. So if you are taking anything from published work, in that case you have to give credit, and that credit is known as a citation. So it tells the audience that a particular content in your work has been taken from different sources. So suppose I'm writing the introduction part of my research paper, and after one paragraph I am giving in-text citation. So it means that this portion of my work is not entirely mine. This I have borrowed from this particular source, and that source I'm giving credit in terms of in-text citation. So why there is a need to give citation? Because it helps others to find out more about your ideas and their origin. So, generally there is thing in research that if you want to check the quality of any research, then first see the reference part. If the references are from good journals, some quality journals, that means that this researcher has done a good research because he has referred the quality research papers. If you are finding www Google, www Google Scholar, or www in the reference part, that you can easily identify that this is not the quality research. This is very ordinary research. That is why in the reference you have mentioned only websites. And sometimes you will be more appreciated if your idea is people finding them better than those of original source. Sometimes we quote some other studies in our literature review. So if you are good in your research, then while reading the literature review and the discussion part of your research, the reader of your paper, they can easily identify which result is having good impact, yours or already published sources. So that is why there's a need for the citation, and it directs them through the particular source by giving complete bibliographical information. Sometimes the reader of your paper, they are more interested in reading those papers from where you got some idea for writing your research paper, right? So it is like a complete postal address. For example, if anybody wants to visit the Chandigarh and meet me, and if I'm not giving complete postal address or complete residential address, in that case it is going to be difficult for that particular person to contact me. So similar things happens with research papers also. If you are not giving complete bibliographical information in following any particular citation style, then it is going to be difficult for the reader of your paper to directly go to the original paper, right? And the citation is required to avoid plagiarism. That is also very true. Now, what are the citation style? Citation style is a set of rules and how to cite source in academic writing. And mostly there are three common citation style: APA, MLA, and Chicago. But as I said, there are more than 1,000 citation styles are available. So APA is usually used in education, psychology, and sciences. MLA is used by the humanities, and Chicago style is generally used by business, history, and fine arts. But there is no specific rule for using APA MLA in Chicago. It varies from publishers to publishers. It varies from institution to institution. Right? It is totally up to the institution which citation style they are going to make mandatory, so that the researcher of that university, they have to cite or they have to give references in that particular citation style. ये लड़की आई हुई है
फोटो खींचो पीसी ऑफिस भेज रहा है मेरे को जल्दी करो
एक सेकंड just a second Just a second. So this is called the citation style, like APA, MLA, and Chicago. Then in citations, there are two ways through which you can give the credit. First is called in-text citation, and the second is called references. So in-text citation styles.
साफ आ गई है तो
एक second.
जल्दी कर साफ है साफ है ना
Right. So there are two citation styles, in-text citation style, narrative and parenthetical. So in narrative citation style, what we generally do, we start giving acknowledgement of the author while writing the last name and the year of publication. And when paragraph ends, there we mention page number. In parenthetical, what we do, at the end of the paragraph, we write the last name, comma, year of publication, and the page number, right? So you can ask me one question like, is there any need to give citation or credit for each and every text or ideas which you are borrowing? Answer is no, because there is a one concept that is called common knowledge. And what is common knowledge? That is common to the public. So if you are finding the same information published in multiple sources, that is considered as a common knowledge, right? Let me close this door. Like, for example, if I'm writing that Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was the first Prime Minister of India, in that case, there is no need to give any citation because it's a public fact. You can find the same thing in multiple sources, right? But one should be very, very careful to identify the information which you are considering as a common knowledge. Until unless you are not sure about the common knowledge, in that case, always give credit where credit is due. So paraphrasing is very, very important, and there are good tools available which can help you in terms of doing the quality paraphrasing, that is called Quillboard, Spinboard. These are the tools through which you can use. So this is the screenshot through which you can do the paraphrasing, right? So what are the ways through which we can prevent plagiarism? The golden rule to avoid plagiarism is provide proper references wherever it is required. And one more thing, while quoting, while summarizing, while paraphrasing, always give in-text citation. And one thing which is very, very important is provide references for photographs, diagrams, picture, graph, and maps. Because sometimes, if you're finding the images on Google, it is not like that if any images are accessible through Google, there is no need to give citation. Every image, mostly images, they are protected under Creative Commons licenses. So if you are using Google Images, so in that case, go to advanced search and filtered all images which are under Creative Commons license. And there are different types of Creative Commons license, but the Creative Commons license, which is very, very common, is CC BY. So if any images is under CC BY, there is no need to take the permission from the author. You can use the images, but only you have to give citation. So UGC has also started some initiative of preventing the plagiarism. And this is the 2018 guidelines, which you can download from UGC website. And through this guidelines, it is mandatory for university to subscribe any anti-plagiarism software. Like in Panjab University, we are having access of Turnitin and Drillbit software, which is provided by the Implement Center. But these are the exclusion which you can do, like all quoted work, you can exclude references, bibliography, table of content, preface and acknowledgement. And then after doing the exclusion, the level of similarity, it should be less than 10%. So anything which is having less than 10% is acceptable. in universities or colleges, specifically if you are publishing research paper, thesis, chapter in books, full-fledged book, dissertation, etc. Right? And this is the notification about the self-plagiarism. And if you want to know the cases of misconduct in India, so there is one NGO that is called Society for Scientific Values. So, Society for Scientific Values, they have listed all such cases where the academicians, vice chancellors, scientists, doctors, bureaucrats, ministers, they found guilty of doing the act of plagiarism. So these are some of the news you can find in the newspaper, like the vice chancellor, doctors, scientists, they have to resign from the post because of the act of plagiarism. Right. And talking about the anti-plagiarism softwares, there are two categories of software. First is called commercial software, second is called open source software. So under commercial software, you can find Turnitin, iAuthenticate, Grammarly, and in free tools like PlagScan, CopyLeaks, Plagium, Plagiarisma, DupliChecker, all these are free tools. Like Turnitin is very, very popular and most of the universities they are using, and this is the list of open source tools. Like for example, CopyLeaks. So this is how it is going to detect. And UGC is also working on one project where they are developing a software which is called Shodh Mapak, which is going to be very, very helpful for checking the plagiarism of Indian languages. So this is how the system basically works. Right. So now let me give you the live demonstration of three important software which are very, very useful for researcher, where right you can use them in terms of managing the references part. Right. So how you can download these software? You can simply go to Google and type EndNote. So go there and just try to download. Yes, try demo version. If your institution is not subscribing to EndNote because it's not free software, but as a faculty member, what you can do is you can download a demo version. And downloading the software is very, very easy. Just click here and start your 30 days trial and just follow these steps and you will download the software on your desktop. And once it is downloaded, then how you can open it, right? This is how you can open this software. Let me show you from the beginning. So just close this time and suppose you have downloaded the software. So simply type, this is the EndNote software. Open this software, right? So click no, and this is your EndNote library. So if you are first time user, in that case, what you can do is you simply click on new, give name to your library. You can give any name to your library and click on save. And once you will click on save, then you can add the references. Like how you can add the references to your library, that is also possible. Like for example, you can add the manually. If you want to add something, click here and you can do the addition or deletion manually. Like you can select which type of paper or article you want to include in the library, because if you are not adding all the files or all the articles in your EndNote library, then it is going to be very, very difficult for you to give proper in-text citation or references. So there are different ways through which you can create the EndNote library. First is click here and add the details manually, right? The second thing is click on import. You can import file or folder. Suppose on my desktop, I have created one folder where all the PDF of articles for literature review are saved. So you can import the complete file or folder, right? You can choose any file or folder which you want to import, and within a second, all your files or folder will be added in the EndNote library. So the first thing is, before using the EndNote, you have to include all the important documents or all those research papers which you think are directly related with your research into EndNote library. So there are different ways. So you can import file folder, you can add manually, that is also possible. Or simply what you can do is you can simply go to any website, like for example, suppose I am using PubMed and I am searching something on PubMed, like for example, I hope the screen is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now suppose this is the article which I want to add in my EndNote library. So what you can do is select this thing and send to an citation manager, right? And create file. So this file now, likewise, you can import many articles using PubMed Scopus, and now this thing is added to your EndNote library. You can see that this is the document which I have added within a second in my Endley library. So here you can find the same thing, right? So likewise, while searching any database, suppose whether you are searching Scopus, whether you are searching Web of Science, so you can add thousands of articles in your EndNote library. Now suppose I am searching something here. And now after searching on Scopus, now I have realized that, okay, this article, this article, this article, this article, it is very important for me. So here you can simply go to export and you will find this EndNote. So select the article, click EndNote, and then automatically all these articles will be added to your library. Similarly, generally we are using Google Scholar, Scopus, Web of Science, PubMed. Similar with the Web of Science, like suppose I am searching this Web of Science database. Just a second. Hello? Yes? आप आ गए हो? अच्छा एक सेकेंड. Just a second, just a second.
Sir, you are muted.
Okay, sorry. So what I'm trying to say is, like, this is the Web of Science screenshot. For example, I have selected these two articles, and from here click on export EndNote desktop, and once you click here, the file will be saved on your desktop, and you can see that both these articles, because I have already added, let me show you again. So again, go to the download folder, click here, and you will see that both these articles are now added to the EndNote library. When you click on all references, so you will see that all the articles which you have added in your EndNote library, now they are visible. If you want to create a group, if you want to organize all these articles, now suppose out of the 10, you have realized that these 3 are important for my literature review. So what you can do is you go there and create a new group and give name literature review, right? So what you can do is go to all references. Suppose this is the thing, add this article into different folders. Now you will find that because I have added 2 articles in the literature review portal, now it is showing here. And one more thing, like suppose I have extracted the articles on the EndNote library, but there are something missing here. So in that case, click on edit and you can add. Suppose if page number is missing, like a start page is missing, you can add manually also and click on save. So the first thing is you have to create your EndNote library. You have to extract all the files, all the folder, all the articles which are related to your work into EndNote library. Make all the corrections, right? And then you can simply go to tools and then you can download, you can select this thing, go to tools, and from here what you can do is you can install the toolbar for your Word. But by default you will find that this is already available in your Word file. So when you will open Word file, you will find here EndNote, right? Like for example, let me show you this thing. So this is your Word file. Now you are writing introduction of your research paper, for example. And this is the introduction which you are writing, for example. Now here you want to give in-text citation for this particular paragraph. Click on EndNote, go to EndNote, and when you click on go to EndNote, here you will find all the articles, right? Now select the article for which you want to give the citation. Insert citation. Now here you will see that it has already given in-text citation. So this is the in-text citation of this particular paper. Now suppose you want to add the references of this article. In that case, what you can do is again go there, write references, copy formatted references, and paste it here. So this is like the EndNote will give you any citation style. Like for example, one more thing, like here, you go to references, right? And then you can also and from here you can select which citation style you want to follow. So there are many ways through which you can select the citation style. Like this is the Vancouver style. Now I want to change this to APA 7th. So here you will find list of select another style. So there is an n number of citation styles are there. So you can select any citation style from this particular menu. Like for example, if you are selecting the APA 7th citation style, go to EndNote, select the citation style, right? And then you want to give citation, sorry. So in that case, go there. Because we have selected APA 7th, go to EndNote. Suppose this is the style. So because it is demo version, so that is why it is taking the number, article number, that you can always remove. So this is the APA citation style, in-text citation style. And complete reference, here you can simply go there, references, copy formatted reference and paste here. So this will create a bibliography as per APA 7th style. And within a second, you can give the in-text citation and references. So this is how you can use the EndNote software. And EndNote, Mendeley are by default, they are integrated with your MS Word document. So this is how you can use the EndNote. Right, let me close this thing now. Similarly, you can download, go to Google and download Mendeley desktop. So download Mendeley desktop. So download now for Windows. So simply click on this download and you will find that when you go to the folder, so here you will find all the softwares, like for example, which I have downloaded, like Mendeley desktop. So just open from here, click next, click yes, and the software will be installed on your system. You have to only press on next button and the software will be downloaded, right? So I have already downloaded this software. So now how I can use this, again close this thing, go to the start button, type Mendeley, and here Mendeley desktop is there, open here. So the Mendeley will open again, right? So same thing you have to do. You have to create a library, because I have already created the library. That is why all the articles are visible. But if you are a first time user, similar with EndNote, click on add files. You can add multiple files in the Mendeley library. You can folder also, add folder. So suppose this is my literature review folder, and I want to extract all these things in my Mendeley desktop. That is also possible. Like you can see that suppose if I want to extract this folder, so you can see that the complete, now all these files now are in the part of my Mendeley library. So within a second, you can add files, you can add folders, you can also import, similar with the Scopus. Now suppose here this option is there, Mendeley Jotaro reference. So select the article which you want to include in the Mendeley library and click on Mendeley, right? So once you will be signed in, all these articles will automatically become part of your Mendeley library, right? So this is how you can create all these things. Then in the tools, if your Word is not having Mendeley, then here you will find under tools, installed MS Word plugin. That is also possible. So again, let me open one document. Suppose this is the document, right? Let me, now how to use Mendeley. Again, suppose you are writing the introduction part. This is the introduction. Now you want to give the in-text citation. Go to references and open Mendeley. And here you can select the any citation style. Like for example, I want to select APS or Chicago. Use this style. Done. Right? Go to references, insert citation, go to Mendeley. Suppose this is the article. This is the article for which you want to give citation. Click on cite, and here you will see that automatically in-text citation is coming. Suppose again you have written something and you want to give the citation for this particular thing. Now again you want to give in-text citation, insert citation, go to Mendeley, select here and give cite. So automatically you will see that now another in-text citations are there. So click on references. So at the end, suppose you have completed your research paper and you have given in-text citation. Now you want to create a bibliography for all these references. So in that case, again, go to references, insert bibliography. And here you will see that for both the articles which I have included under in-text citation, Mendeley has created references and bibliographies automatically. So this is how you can use the Mendeley. Again, it's a very simple software. EndNote, Mendeley, Zotero, all these are very common software which researchers they are using, right? And they are very, very helpful in terms of managing the references for researcher, right? So this is the quick overview about the Mendeley. Now, similarly, you just close this thing and you can download the Zotero also. Similarly, go to Google, Zotero, desktop, and you can download the Zotero from here. Download from here. And once it is downloaded, again go to your computer, type Zotero, and you can open this thing. Now this is the Zotero. Now same thing you have to do. You have to import file, folders. You can add, you have to create your library. You can create by adding files. You can create your library by adding folder. You can directly go to any website like PubMed, Scopus, Web of Science, select the article, click on export. When you click on the export, you will find Mendeley, Zotero, and EndNote. You select the software, and then all the selected articles will be automatically included in your Mendeley, Zotero, or EndNote library. Now, suppose I have done while creating the Zotero library, how to use it. Again, open the Word document. Suppose this is the Word document, and this is the introduction I am writing. Now I want to give in-text citation according to Zotero. So now I have installed the Zotero, and now it is also showing in my Word document. Click Zotero, add citation. Now here you can select the article. Suppose this is the article which Zotero is selecting from my Zotero library, and click here. So here you can see that by default it is giving in-text citation, and click on references, right? Go to Zotero, add bibliography, and automatically you will see that the references. So you can keep adding the in-text citation and references. Suppose again you are writing something and now you want to give another in-text citation. That is also possible. Go to Zotero, add citation, right? Open document here. From here, type something like this is the thing. This is the article for which I want to give in-text citation. Select here, enter, and you will see, and references will be automatically pasted on your reference section. So this is the complete live demonstration of both these software, because it is not possible to cover each and every aspect of all the three softwares in a 1.5 hour lecture. But what I'm trying to show you that it is very, very easy. It is very easy in terms of download. It is very easy in terms of usage. And all these three softwares, they are having almost same features. The only thing which you have to do is, first you have to create the library, and then you can start writing your research paper. And then whether you are using Mendeley, EndNote, or Zotero, you select the software, and by default, once you will download these softwares, it will be integrated on your MS Word. So you select the software, insert in-text citation and references, and these are very, very helpful in terms of managing all your references in while writing your PhD thesis, while writing your research paper, right? So this is a quick and brief demo of all the three softwares, and I think the session is from 1:30 to 1 p.m., 11:30 to 1 p.m., right? Or if it's still times left, I can cover some other thing, or it is open for the question answer session. So I think the timing of this session is from 11:30 to 1 p.m., right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's it from my side, but still we are having few minutes left, 4 5 minutes. So if any participant is having any question or any query you want to ask, then I will be happy to give answer to your question.
Sir, I have a query, sir.
Yes, yes.
So suppose I was reading a article A, and the article A has cited two other article like article B and article C, but
Right,
the content of article A that I need is not included in the article B, but it
okay,
has been included in article C. So
right.
what should I cite? Not the article A or the article C?
Article A, because you know the citation which you are giving or which you want to give for Article A, that is sufficient because you are not referring some other document. So suppose I am referring one document which I want to cite. My concern is only with that article. There's nothing to worry about whether B or C has cited that article or not, or whether that particular document has cited some other document or not. Because for all those articles, I am giving citation, I am responsible for those document only.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, any other query from the participant? Any question related to plagiarism or fabrication, falsification, or any other issues or aspect which I have discussed during this lecture? You can ask the question.
So again, I have a query regarding the paraphrasing, sir.
Yes, yes.
So I have written a paragraph of a article, and I need to include that content on the ideas of that article, but I am using my own words. Then
Yes,
I have to cite that article. This
yes,
is,
yes.
yeah,
Yes, you have to
but
cite because you know you whatever idea you have developed that comes after reading those papers.
yes,
So
sir.
that is called, you know, idea needs to be credited, or we have to give credit for the ideas also. You know, that is why there's a misconception among the researcher is that I have changed the paragraph and I have written entirely in my own words. And that is why there is no need to give citation to the articles which I have read. That is basically called paraphrase plagiarism, because you have to give the credit to the author, because after reading those papers you have generated some idea and then you have converted the idea into the words, but the original source is that paper. So there is no harm if you are giving credit to the original author while doing the paraphrasing.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable talk of this session. So your talk really connects our workshop because there are few talk that other speakers have presented, how to start research, how to select journal, and LaTeX software has been discussed by one of the faculty, and many other tools has been discussed. And today you have discussed reference method with different tools. If the participants want to use, they will be able to see your videos. We have shared old videos in the YouTube also. And last, sir, thank you for your kind consent to being in the workshop with us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for the opportunity. Yes.
Thank you, Neeraj sir. Thank you very much for your valuable address to the participants.
Thank you, Dr. Jayantan. Thank you very much.
Hope to meet you soon.
Yes, sure, sir. Sure. Thank
Okay.
you.
Have a good day.
Okay, all the best. Thank you, everyone.
So wait for 5 to 10 minutes. Lunch will reach now. And one more announcement is that tomorrow after second half, during vegetation, we will have 10 to 15 minute test. The content will be from the topics that had been covered. So we tried to download the Google videos from the Google, and you have uploaded in the YouTube. If possible, you go through the contents. That will revise the informations for you. And why each time we are discussing these attendance, test, etc.